Hello and welcome back to the B-Hole Disc Golf YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the round 1 back 9 feature card of the Scottish Open. So let's get straight into it. So we are at the Scottish Open. This is May the 16th for round 1 and we have our players here after the front 9. Very strong start from Nestory, Morton and Pekka. You can see he's at -1 with Callum Taylor 3 over par, Daniel +2 and Herman +1. So here are our players. So they are walking up hole 14, one of the most difficult holes on the course. The same as this hole, so this is hole 10. It is a 551 feet par 3 and you have an open field where you want to blast something down there. You can just see this telephone pole coming into view. This is 400 feet from the tee, so you've really got to blast it, and you can either go left or right side. Very rare that someone's going to go this left side. Most people are going to go try and crash through to C3 on the right hand side if you've got big distance, if your name is Seppo Payo. And then you have this drop off green behind, so you have to be really careful on the approach. It's going to be an interesting one to see how the players navigate. Big wind by the basket. So a nice low shots there from Daniel. I know he wanted that higher. It's a really good line. You can see it just gets in the way of myself there, but no issue. Now Herman, very explosive form, but he turns this one completely over, and this is not where you want to go. You want to be left of that telegraph pole for sure.
You'll get past.
He's going to have a tricky approach. Now Callum Taylor, forehand wizard. Turns one nicely, and that's a good shot for Callum there. Nice chance at getting the par. And the Snap King, Pekka Hyvönen, throwing a big hyzer out there, and that's really good. You like that position.
Lovely.
As long as you have no trees in your swing. So a lovely approach, probably the berg here from Callum. You can see the basket there, it just trickles into view. Nice shot. Now a good effort from Herman, but you really want to be close, otherwise you're going to have a potential for a 3-putt green on this hole. And Daniel leaving the forehand a little bit low, and it catches the tall grass, so it won't get any skip. He's not happy with that one. A little mac off the tree for Pekka. Slightly unfortunate. And scary, but a good approach there from Daniel, and he's checking where it ended up, as it could have easily rolled down the hill, but I believe it did not. Just a layup from Herman there. Now a scary putt here for Pekka. And unfortunately he airballs, and that's going to go down the hill. Same again for Callum. This one's a scary one. He pokes at it, but misses slightly low, not happy. And a tough uphill putt where the wind's really pushing the disc down. You can see he really gets punished for not playing the wind. And that's a good comebacker there, but it is for double bogey, and he's now over par after the glorious start. Not the ideal hole. And Daniel here makes good of his bogey, but you can see how the best in Europe are struggling on this Scottish hole. A double and a single, and then another bogey, and another bogey. So this hole is going to be playing 5 over par for our card. But now we're on to hole 11, and this one is a bomb of a hyzer. You really want to push it straight past this tree on the left hand side. You have to be right of that tree, and then fading in this little gap here. It's quite a tight gap. It looks a lot different in the winter, of course, but these trees are all grown up now, and you've got to land around here at the base of the screen and hope that you have a circle's edge putt, and that's if you have 500 feet already. So let's see how this card attacks the hole. Daniel up first. Puts a lot of meat into that one. And it's fading nicely towards the basket, and he's inside circle 1 near the Bluebells. And Herman, a player that can definitely reach a hole like this. And he's just a little bit short. Long putt for the birdie. Callum going with a flex forehand play. I thought he was going to ring this one up, but it comes up short. But it's a good layup from there. And then we have Pekka swooping a hyzer in. And gets a skip off the mown grass, off the path, and he's going to be very close. Callum trying to kill me there and pays the price on this shot. The same bird kicks off the fairway. A layup here from Herman, not much he can do about that. Miss Callum, he's a very quick player sometimes. Pekka with the birdie gets back to even par. You can see where we're playing, no wonder it's called Bluebell Woods. Daniel back to +2 with a birdie. And that is not ideal from Callum. Leaves another putt low, 2 in a row. And Herman makes good for his par. So hole 12 now. This is called the Ed Sheeran hole. I thought it was because it was an annoying hole, as Ed Sheeran can be perceived sometimes, but apparently it's Ed Sheeran because of these trees here, because nothing can get past them. And forgive me, I missed the reference, but you really want to land, you want to throw a turnover by these trees and hope that you have a look through this windy woodland. Very tight approach here. You really want to be high up so you have a line. It's very tight, and so that you can land on that down sloping green before the OB. So quite a difficult hole, but not for Daniel, as he destroys the fairway. Is in a beautiful position. And Pekka overturns his drive. He's not going to be too happy with that one. Herman here, a little left side. Probably a good thing he caught the tree though, as that was fading out a little bit early. And now we have Callum with a slightly overturned drive. And Pekka is not got much from here. He's going to be looking to save the par. And these trees that he's coming up just short of are very catchy. They catch everything, so I remember the reference now, just like Ed Sheeran. The Herman with an unfortunate missed gap, but a super fortunate result. And Pekka catching the Ed Sheeran tree. Not the biggest fan of British culture, I see. Callum just playing smart there. I'm throwing a hyzer, but
still want to mark it before I hook it.
You can see Pekka's disc here.
I mean, it's probably
It's
like
enough.
Andy Malcolm helping out.
If you bring the other disc out, I'll put that away with mine.
The whole
clear?
weekend,
You
I
all
think,
good, guys?
on this hole, helping people out. He's got that stick.
Thanks, Andy.
Because these discs get stuck in the tree all the time.
I'll take the grey set.
Yeah, I'm handing the disc to Pekka. Welcome. So Pekka's approach here, and it's gliding a little bit long, and I believe that is OB. So not a happy Pekka. You can see Daniel's just checking out. This is gonna be a tricky approach. Even if you're up close, you have to be very careful how and where you land. It's got a big jumper from range, a little bit of a kick up, but unfortunately it stops. Callum here with the Berg, that's tactical run. If you miss, you hit the tree. All safe. A good bid from Herman there, hitting the band. Another missed low from Pekka. You can see a little bit unhappy here. Confident to field again from Herman for a bogey. But it is a birdie from Daniel. Supreme drive and absolutely reaps the reward there. Another bogey from Callum. He's fallen onto a little bit of a cold streak, and Pekka with a triple. Same again. Another shot of Andy. And then Callum and his caddy. Lovely caddy. And we're on to hole 13. It is a par 3, 325 feet. This is, you want to drive through these gaps where the drone is going, and you've got this one tree to miss in the middle. You either want to throw a flat forehand that fades, or a backhand putter, or flex mid-range if you've got these big arms. But these players are mostly going to be going forehand. You can see you can really skip off the ground here, and this one from Daniel lands and rolls to the circle. That's going to be a birdie putt. And scaring the cameraman there, throws a nice forehand but not too much ground play. You can see it comes with slightly too much angle up the hill. But Callum with the straighter shot, and it gets into the little ravine before the basket, and it's going to be parked. Pekka with his MVP, probably fairway driver, I don't know, but he's also going to be extremely close to the basket. Very nice shot. And another death green, so Herman is just laying this one up, but Daniel's in the circle and has other ideas. And that's a really nice stroke from Daniel. He's back to even par with a birdie. Very, very nice. And then classic Callum birdie, forehand hole. So 3 out of the 4 birdies on this card. And so that is unfortunate 3 beers for Herman. Although I'm not sure they'll be drinking on
birdie
tournament
check-in.
day. Hello, Callum. And off they go down onto hole 14.
Never get this one.
Very nice day today, that's for sure. So hole 14, an extremely difficult hole, 468 feet. It actually plays as a 2-shot par 3. There is the smallest gap in the world if you want to birdie, which no one in their right mind is going to do if you win a tournament. And this is the tennis court hole, so nice and flat ground. It used to be a tennis court there. You want to get onto the initial landing zone with a hyzer and then throw your approach in. You can either go forehand or backhand. Backhand with a right-hand backhand player is slightly easier, but this hole, getting a par, feels pretty much like a birdie. So Daniel going with the classic hyzer route and into the love bush, and he's in a nice position. That's a nice kick. And this is a shot that I've never seen really before, the forehand turnover, and it's into prime position, only for the par though. Pekka absolutely blasting one, further than I saw anyone else go. It's going to be very, very nice. Herman doing the same as Daniel, hits the love bush, and he's going to be in a nice position. You can see the boys here walking up the fairway.
I feel like it's the love tree.
Very cool tree. I had to show this one in the video. And a nicely committed forehand there from Daniel. Looks like it's about to go in. That's a really, really good approach. And one for the team. Stay in the distance. And Herman, this is a decent shot, but it's a little bit short left. Herman has a really funny backhand grip, and his finger lifts off the rim when he throws backhand approaches. I've never seen that before. It's pointer finger. And Callum with a lovely flex berg. This is Callum's bread and butter right here. You can see that he's local, playing this hole to perfection. Pekka leaving this one with a little bit to be desired. It's a little bit right, but it's really not the end of the world. Another nice putt from Herman there.
Good putt.
Very happy with that make. Cool as a cucumber as usual. Good par from Pekka. Here you cannot really ask for much more than a par. There we go. Callum makes it. Nice little tap in for par for Daniel. So a hole played very standard from the group. Now we're on to hole 15, another very open hole, but this one, similarly to hole 10, has some trees later on, but it's even tighter later on, but it's also shorter. So these players can definitely reach, but there's not much of a route. You just have to aim for the place where you don't think you're going to hit a tree, where the trees are slightly less dense. A little bit of a drop off behind the basket, but doesn't really come into play on the drive. Daniel leaving this one a little bit left. You want to be in the opening that you can kind of see there. He's not too happy. Unlike Herman, always smiling. A man of the sun. Callum can't really reach this hole and burns this one over. Not ideal, but it's also not the end of the world. Snap King back at it again. He's playing the hyzer. Nice. And looks to be a little bit short. This one's slightly right from Herman. Almost scaring somebody.
But we just asked, and we got someone's camper
Staring
van
at me.
just for free.
Without the camera. So Callum's now got a tough approach. Throws the berg, and it's a little bit long right. He's got a putt, but it's going to be difficult. And Herman there, leaving that approach a little bit short. He's just in C2. And Daniel scaring the basket actually on this one. It stays luckily quite close. It's very easy to roll away on this hole. Pekka with a nice approach up to the basket. Easy par. So Herman's got a death putt here. Some people would choose to lay this up. But as you can see, slow-mo. Boom! Right into the chains. Happy Herman saves the par. Ideal. Big make there. Callum, his putting stroke doesn't really allow for the most... It's okay. Nice putt from Daniel there. Callum's putt doesn't really allow for the most versatile angle changes, I think, so kind of chucking one up there and makes good with the bogey. So we are on to hole 16, and this one is one of the signature holes of the course. Looks beautiful in the sun. You want to play it on the right side of the screen now and play either a flat to fade or a slightly flex shot back towards the basket, and then there's OB long that you want to be careful of. So most people are going to go mid-range. It's downhill. It plays maybe like 330 feet. So Daniel's going with a rock 3 here. And this one's lurking up. It's like it's flipped up perfectly. Fades just before the trees. Slows down before the basket. That is the ideal shot there. Not much of a smile, but I'll be smiling for him. Pekka here, slightly turning one over and kicks off the tree. Absolutely fantastic, very close result.
Great tree.
Hung out for a reason. Herman throwing the slight hyzer up there, the hyzer play. I guess quite consistent, and he's left in C2, so it's a long putt, but it is a putt. Callum with a bit more of a technical shot here, and unfortunately kicks off the tree. Hat off. Not ideal. There we go, nice shot from Callum there. Unlike his putting style, his forehand is extremely versatile. And there we go, big make from Herman from C2. That is 2 in a row from C2, this time for birdie. He's back to +2, lovely shot. And a nice clean stroke from from Daniel. It's looking very clean, very smooth right now. Sometimes his putt can be a little bit wobbly and not come out, but right now it's looking fantastic. Callum there with the par. Lovely approach to save par. But 3 birdies again on another hole. This back end of the course is playing a little bit easier. Well, a lot easier. A lot of the birdies are coming from here. And now we've got hole 17, 330 feet. You want to follow the path with a slightly overstable disc, and then start fading around here. Hope you miss this tree and come towards the basket. This one is one of the easiest holes on the course, along with hole 18. But you're licking your chops as you step up to the tee, as it's finally a birdieable hole. Same disc again, I believe, from Daniel. Looks really nice. You can see the straight line there. Just a slight bit of left movement. Pecker's Pyro, not what you want on this hole. Mita Vitoa, as I think he was saying. And this one's the complete hyzer play. You can see with this hole, Herm's got a putt there, I think, from just outside C2. Yeah. So you can really do a lot of... I was going to say something else, but obviously Callum's going with a forehand, so this hole is very technical for him. Kind of struggling without having a backhand here. Obviously Callum can shape the shots, but they're lower percentage shots for sure. Right, scrapes past this one tree. Head down, but head up, Callum. You didn't hit the tree. Poor filming, but Pecker just not quite enough on the putt. Same with Herman. No change this time for Herman though. But another birdie from Daniel. That's a really good back nine so far to come back from 3 over to 2 under. 5 birdies at the last something like 7 holes. Then the boys cleaning up their pars. Hole 18, 600 feet par 4. You want to play out into this open bit. This is a really easy first shot. You can just throw whatever you want. No gap to hit. You've got to miss the archery things on the left hand side, but most people on this card are going to be missing. You want to land bottom left of the screen here, and then you'll have a hyzer approach in. Got to make sure that you haven't been distracted by the people that are doing wakeboarding on the left hand side, but you want to swing your hyzer in, or if you're Callum, your hyzer in to this basket, which is further back and left than this position. But it's a very accessible approach. You can really go with a zone usually, or a fairway driver that's quite overstable. This one is an open hole. It's scary with the water, but this is one of the easier holes again for the course. It may have even been the easiest hole of the week, I believe. Pecker throwing this one quite far left, but it really doesn't matter. It's completely fine. You could go left hand, backhand, and you'd be okay. And there we have Scottish Hogan. And Herman, sponsored by We Are Disc Golf. A lovely group of people. Met them this year. This one's a little bit low. Unlike Eagle McMahon's, lovely forehand here. A nice shape. Net, very straight flight. Some more use of the rangefinder. Very smart. You can see Herman playing this one absolutely to perfection. Drop in birdie for the final hole of the round. Fantastic job there. Pecker with another pyro, bit more hyzer. That one's in the circle. It's a putt, but it's a putt. And this hole is one that I expect Daniel to birdie pretty much every
going
time
in
he
apparently
sees and plays the hole. But for Callum, he's got to shape another forehand here. And you can see he aims straight at the basket, slightly safe from the water. That's a good shot there, actually. It's closer than it looks on camera. So 4 birdie putts. First up is Pecker. Lovely, even par for the round. It's a nice bird. You can see the wakeboarder in the back there. Not much of a gallery, but a little bit. A low right catch.
Nice, Callum.
+6, the people's man. Lovely to see him on this feature card. Daniel, though, leading the field after round 1, -3 birdie. He does make the course look easy. Then Herman with a +1 birdie to finish. Pleasure filming the boys, especially. I mean, everybody was lovely to film. Herman was especially good. Here we have.
I'm filming you, filming me, filming you, filming me.
Elias Luukkanen and Nestor Tuukkanen. There we have Seamus the TD.
That's Ben holding numbers.
So some happy faces.
What?
Sam Henderson, Nestor Tuukkanen saying hello. Daniel Davidsson.
Alright, big boy. You can
And
go
Morgan
down a bit.
Brenner, so we hope you stick around.
I was like, how can I show these candies, but then it will thumbs down.
Dropping off, but Daniel is
What, you
staying.
sponsored by Haribo?
No,
Haribo.
but actually Haribo is sponsoring the Distal World.
And I hope to catch you guys in round 2. Bye bye.